Our veterans, friends, associates. There we go. There we go. So Vetforce can impact somebody in your life directly, out of the gate. So we're blazing trails. Brings us to, what is a trailblazer? A trailblazer is everybody in these seats. If you weren't a trailblazer, you wouldn't be coming to a community event. It's every role, whether it's an end user, admin, architect, or a guy standing up here who's still stalking that ever-elusive first role. So we're blazing trails, and what does that mean? To me, you're after a goal, but it's really, blazing trails is about the journey. But every journey has to have a beginning. My beginning was moving to Detroit, chasing my son's hockey dream. No job, no house, he didn't even have a team. Just went for it. I was an electrician, so I knew I'd be able to find something, which I did. And I moved on to a field service position. And if you know anything about field service, they tend to pay you a little bit more than what you're actually worth because you're willing to travel. So that was the plan. Travel, make good money, provide for my son. But a very, very wise man once said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So, my punch in the mouth was finding myself working 12-hour days, 7 days a week in Mexico. Now I would be there 2-3 weeks at a time, and I would go home for a weekend. Now, when you're traveling like that, you go home for the weekend, all you want to do is sleep. So you're not getting any quality time with family and friends. So I decided it was time for a change. I was actually on vacation. Speaking of vacation, let me go back for a second. When you tell people that you're working in Mexico, right? Everybody's like, oh man, that must be really cool. You're working in Mexico. First off, I mentioned 12-hour days. Second off, 7 days a week. And third, this is the Mexico that I'm working in. It's an industrial field. This is what you're working in. So, as I said, time for a change. I'm on vacation. I asked my friend, I said, you're always talking about Salesforce. Mm-hmm. Always. Salesforce is doing this, whatnots, and so forth. And then you bust out. I didn't have a lot of meetings, so I'm working at the pool today. Who does that? So I said, what is this Salesforce thing? She said, well, and then she stopped. She said, well, you know what? You're a lifelong learner. You enjoy learning. Let me just show you. So she logged me into Trailhead. And that day, September 30th, 2017, about a year ago, without even being able to spell CRM, I stepped into my first module and earned my first badge. But then I decided I'd do another one, and another one, and another one. And I quickly realized this can change my life. Wow. This can change my life. How many times do you hear that statement? I mean, 2 o'clock in the morning watching infomercials, you hear it about every 15 minutes. But this was real. This is a real change. So I set a couple of goals for myself. Obviously, one at a time. I said, I think I can do 30 badges in 30 days, which I did. Then I said